Hey guys, welcome back to another Snowrunner Mod Map Preview. So pretty excited to see the Highway Haulin region finally hit console today, which is awesome. I hope all you guys enjoy it. It's quite a bit different than the first map, so let me know what you guys think. If you find any issues, you can pretty much message me on any of my platforms and I'll get back to you when I can. I've been a little busy the last week. I've had a little contract job I've been doing for somebody, so I haven't had nearly as much time to put out any videos or anything, but I'm back with a little bit of an update on map 3 here, which I still haven't named yet. I put out a little post in Facebook the other day just to get some suggestions, and I'll let it ride for a little bit, but I'm hoping in the next week or two I'll decide what I'm going to call this place so we at least can identify it other than map 3. So right now we're just coming down the main highway. We're going to get off at the exit you saw in the last video, but we're going to head a different way. We're going to head up into the high-priced area where the people with money are going to be living, I think. I've done a little bit more to the sand area. You'll see the area that we're going through up here. I've started to at least put some models and stuff in, so you guys will get some really cool views on this video, and we're going to go for a run through more on the river that we saw from the last one. I've done quite a bit more and added a lot more to it. Let me know if you guys think it looks a little more realistic now. A whole bunch of detail, little stuff. I'm getting there to being happy with how it looks. I think it still needs a little bit more tweaking, but so here again we are coming along by the little motel recreational resort. It's gonna have a beach and some amenities like that, kind of a getaway spot. And we are going to actually head up the bluff this time instead of making the right hander out into the sand field, and we'll show you the other way to get across the map. This is kind of going to be a second option for pulling stuff out to the mining area, but as you'll see, it's a little bit more challenging road, so that's the right hander that we would have taken previously in the other video. So we're gonna go straight through and we're gonna head up this. It's a pretty tight little cliff road, but it does have a nice view. What you guys are gonna see out this eventually is that is going to be the city area out that way, and I say city loosely. I mean, we only have so many models, so I can't do a city, but that's going to be the populated area, we'll call it, out on the other side of the gorge or canyon, whatever you guys want to call it. And then we are going to see the sand fields, which you can see I've only got about halfway across. There's nothing out in the very far side of it, but I'll get there eventually. So this is a pretty steep hill to be pulling a large load up, but it's doable. And once you get up here, it definitely flattens out a bit, and you are going to get some nice views of all the sand and whatnot. You can even see the house and bridge that we crossed in the last video from up here. You can see the little culverts down there. It's a good view at the change from the forest out to more sand, trees. I got rid of all the orange bushes and stuff, so it's more either trees kind of like you see here, or it's dead stuff now and grass. So you'll see I kind of thinned out the trees too to give it more of a desert feel. So you'll see along here there are a lot of big houses. I'm basically, as I said, labeling this the high price area. This is where you're gonna have the big money to get into a property with this kind of view. So these houses are really plain right now. I basically just dropped the model in the driveway, but there'll be a lot more added to them, so you guys can use any one of them for a different role play if you want, depending where you want your house. We're gonna have a lot of options. Again, when the 3 maps together, it's a lot of different styles of houses and different places and totally different landscapes, so I think it's gonna be pretty cool once it's all put together. So if we make a left here, it would take us back down to the highway, but we're going to take a right and we're going to go across a few more places up here that, again, more options for a house if you like it. It's sand on the right hand side, and then the left hand is the rest of the other canyon with the river in the bottom. So there's pretty limited building area up here, but I figured there'd be a little civilization. So we have a couple little stores here. Basically, they're so far away from the actual town, they're gonna have a few amenities up this way. That was a good shot of the gorge right there. And then we come across the hotel, which this is a much bigger resort, named the same as the hotel in the other one. So we're doing kind of a chain thing here, I guess you would say. And you can see in the background there, we got a pool and a little walking area and a fountain in the middle of it. So again, lightly populated here. I still have a lot of work, all the fine tuning to do, but you can see the general layout, beautiful views. And here we have a little shopping center and a gas station. So we're going to pull in and we're going to hop out and take the dent side here for a run. I forgot to mention it earlier, but this is the IV K100 by Puppy Master, the big truck, which is a really fun truck and really does well on these maps. And then the dent side, this is my first real run in it. I, again, don't play as much as everyone else because I'm usually building something, but I've liked his other trucks, so John Hot Rod makes these ones and they're pretty fun. I'm kind of partial to the lower horsepower motors so I can hold on to them, but really well made mods, and I'm liking what he's been putting out lately for sure. So this is the other way down to the sand. If you go all the way across the top of this ridge, this highway goes down and meets up with the other one. We're going to go down, we'll do a little run down the highway so you guys can see the terrain, and we'll do a little running through the river and you guys can see the changes I've made in it. And I'm a little over halfway across the map with it now, so there is a lot, basically a whole large size map width of this riverbed that you guys can run. Varying depths of water, mud, not mud, so it's a lot of variety. You can see it just kind of cuts through the channel there. We'll hop down to it just up here a little bit where we won't flip when we drive down. You can see the sand work I've done. Still got a little more to do, but it's starting to look the way I think it should in terms of the dunes, and lots of uneven terrain and angles on hills, and there's a lot of little smoothing and stuff I still have to do, but I think it's coming along pretty good so far. So this is a new part of the river that you guys haven't seen. I haven't put any mud down on this, so it's not going to be super deep mud by any means, but just a little bit of ambience. You can see it flying off the tires. This is probably a fairly general depth of a lot of the puddles you're going to see. This one's a little deeper because it's bigger, but you get the idea that there's going to be all sorts of different depths and areas to play around in, and I'm just trying to give it that realistic, dried out, hasn't rained in a while type feel. But still, there's going to be some low spots in the river that are going to hold some water for quite a long time. And here we have a lovely little rollover, and I guess I should have probably been a little straighter on, but I think this map's going to have a lot of that when you guys get out on it. There's just so much uneven terrain that you're going to have to actually watch where you drive. Now you'll see I've hidden quite a few things in the water, so at least we have winch points. That's a tree, as you can see, popping out of the water, so hopefully you don't get stranded in the middle of the river. I'm not promising anything, but we'll see what happens. So you can see it's pretty spongy water. I like that. I think it's about what you'd see with this stuff just kind of sitting. You can see it's below, or just up the culverts. There's no flow to it or anything, so it's going to be some pretty stagnant stuff. This is a different bridge crossing than you guys saw in the other videos, so I think it crosses 3 or 4 times throughout the river area. This highway road. This is going to be the only asphalt road out this way. Everything else is going to be dirt, and some are going to be harder than others. We're just coming into what you guys have seen before, but with a little more grass, as a few people had suggested to me, maybe just a little bit more stuff in the river. I added some of the holes are a little bit deeper. It's a little more rock size variation, just stuff like that. A few more sticks. Just trying to make it look lived in, for lack of a better term. And I think it's getting there. Even the small rocks in the sand, I think, look pretty good because they break up the just look of the texture. It gets, I don't want to say boring, but you can tell it's the same texture layered over many blocks, so it's nice to have a few things on the ground like that. Tried to thin out these trees so that they're only on the grassy areas, and there's a lot less of them now, so you can pretty much drive through anywhere. I may thin them out a bit more. Let me know what you guys think on that. But I want to have some. I don't want it to just be a big empty desert. That'd be too easy, and I think it would get boring after a little bit. So just for the sake of interest, I've added probably more trees than there would be, but I'm pretty happy with the look. So we're just going to pull into this place and wrap the video up. It's just something I threw down real quick, but it's a lot of what you're going to see out here. It's not the nicest looking place compared to the stuff up top, but it's I think it looks the part. Anyways, thanks a lot, guys. We'll talk to you all again soon. Hopefully I'll have some updates in the next couple days, but we'll see how life goes.